What's up?
All right, let's try this again.
Yeah. All right, round 2. Harry, round 2.
Yeah.
This is Harry, episode 2, Chamber of Secrets.
Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
Is that my intro?
No, that's Harry Potter 2.
Harry Potter 2, Chamber of Secrets.
Do you want to intro yourself? Why don't we're just gonna give you the keys this time?
Dude, I'm the most controversial guest on Trophy Wives.
Yeah.
Listen, here's how I knew it was bad, because it was Sunday. I had just gotten back from like Maryland, and Noah calls me, which he never does, and immediately him and Ben are both on the phone.
Yeah.
Like,
we were nervous you were going to be mad. That
no,
it's
a democracy.
I remember we were finishing it, and we were like, all right, so this is half an episode, and we've spent the whole time talking about sex with animals and relatives, and that's
I was just trying to get
complaining
a feel.
about it not being great, and then 2 people listened to the podcast. And they were just like, what
Those are good
was
numbers.
that?
2 people?
Yeah. Well, I mean, 2 in-person reviews that happened back to back.
Oh, who?
I know.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you later.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
But getting immediate feedback of like, yeah, you should have not put that out. Was like, all right, maybe we should just give it another shot. So
it was funny because it was like I answered the phone and I was like, oh, Ben and Noah as a united front. I wonder what this is about.
Right.
Well, we held a press conference.
Well, that Saturday, you were like, I wanted to talk to you in person about this. I'm like, I have no future in comedy. My friends are...
Well, I was looking forward to seeing you at the show. But I just wanted to reschedule with you in person.
Yeah.
But
And
okay.
Ben said it perfect, though. He's like, it feels like I'm trying to call into work, and like, I would be mad that I'm trying to...
You don't need to feel that way. I would never... If 2 of the 3 people are not cool with something on the podcast, I'll defer to the majority.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But it feels like you're the boss, and that's
I
scary.
am not the boss. I am not the boss, dude. You do not have to...
You got the most facial hair.
Thank you. What am I going to do? You think I'm going to... What's the punishment? Okay, guys, you don't get to do the podcast anymore.
Yeah.
You would jump for joy.
If you took this from
I
me...
just don't want you to be mad at me.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's not that we're not allowed to do anything. It's your I don't want to have a passive aggressive podcast with you the next week.
No, not the only you to make me mad at you. You'd have to like fucking pull on my arms really hard or something. You're not gonna say anything that's gonna make me.
You don't want me to try and swing around on your arms and grab on with my whole body and.
So do you see what you did here? You almost this is.
I feel like I had fun at the orgy, and then everyone was like, "He uses way too much hand." I was like, "Okay."
You guys notice how stiff his fingers were?
Yeah. But I'm just chilling.
That would be a light me too if you went to the orgy and you didn't fuck anybody, but you did do a lot of hand stuff.
Yeah.
That's like you're like a serial molester at that point.
Yeah.
You did. You kept your pants on and just took your shirt off.
You just
went around with wore fingerless gloves.
Spider-Man.
It's like going to a buffet and only using your hands.
Yeah.
Which would be a sick move.
That would be. Well, we might have even talked about this on the last. But I went to Branson, Missouri, for a band field trip in 8th grade, and this kid Rusty Dubs, he had some kind of syndrome. And we went to the biggest Golden Corral in
Which
America.
direction?
Yeah.
Extra chromosome or missing one?
Straight to hell. You know what I mean? But we went to Golden Corral, and biggest one in America, and he got a big ass plate of mashed potatoes, dipped the whole plate in the chocolate fountain.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know what? It makes sense. If you're young or have something wrong with your brain, I totally get it.
Right.
When you're at a buffet, you just want to put all. I made everybody puke it when we went to
$10. It didn't taste bad.
Well, he started crying because people were like, "What's up?" And he was like, "I'm expressing myself." He also forgot his tuba. We went all the way to Missouri. He's like, he just started crying in the junior high we were playing at. He's like, I'm tubeless.
How do you not remember? What do you like? We're like, oh fuck, what did I forget? Patting your pockets.
Yeah, you're like phone, keys, wallet, tuba.
I know I'm forgetting. Oh, is it the instrument that's the size of my body? Yeah.
Right. Well, syndrome spelled S-I-N because he's going to hell.
Yeah.
You know?
Syndrome. I get that, but you get to a buffet, you get excited. I went to the Mongolian Grill and I just decided I got every meat and every sauce until my plate was just brown.
Yeah.
Right.
And like the smell was like making my friends puke.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, it's all my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like mixing.
Color mixing?
I like color mix. Well, let's back up a little bit there.
I was thinking about paint, and then it just came out racist.
Yeah.
No.
I love paint. You guys ever eat paint chips?
Nope.
I feel like that was before us.
Yeah.
I mean,
paint chips?
well, because lead paint is sort of before us. What did we have?
Yeah.
We had like, there's every generation. It's like lead paint. I feel like we're like asbestos,
Tide
No,
Pod.
asbestos.
microplastics.
microplastic.
Yeah.
Well, that's right
Yeah.
now. But I feel like when we were kids,
Microplastics.
was it microplastics?
Yeah, that's why we're all effeminate.
Yeah.
That's
I guess that's true.
I had
yeah, that's
Our
that's what
gooches are
happened.
shrinking.
Am I a girl?
because it has to.
Am I girly?
In order for it to have affected you, they can't have known how bad it was while it was happening. So that is because asbestos was like, this is the greatest thing ever. This is fake snow. This is food. This is you know, this
Asbestos is life.
good. They put it inside of all of our houses, and then they found out it was mesothelioma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Right.
same thing with that radium, that like that glowing paint, and they had a bunch
They'd
of
clean the
broads
paintbrushes.
painting.
Yeah.
Radium was big. I feel like there's something in between lead and microplastics.
There is
so.
something. I'm trying to think of what it is. There was something.
Steroids.
Vaccines.
Not steroids.
Yeah, there we go.
It was the measles vaccine.
Yeah, God damn.
That was our asbestos.
Honestly, I don't know. Mountain Dew, just pop.
Yeah.
Pop.
Just having pop.
Oh, you call it pop.
Yeah, pop.
That's wild.
I'll do soda. I'll do pop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pop's Midwest, right?
Pop's Midwest.
Yeah.
We do. What's
I do
soda?
both. I'm sort of like trans
I have
soda.
friends from Pennsylvania
Code
who call.
switching?
No, I don't know if they're from Pennsylvania or what, but they call everything a Coke.
Code red switching.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
that's
southern
great.
thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Code Red Switcher. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I love that.
Do you know? I saw like some comedian had a joke, but I learned something from it. But it's it might have been Joe List in his new special, but he's talking about how like Mountain Dew was around in like the 30s. Like Hitler was drinking Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that's
Oh
something
yeah.
special. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fanta was invented by the Nazis.
Yeah, they were trying to
because they couldn't
rebrand.
get Coke, so they're like, we're doing our own thing, and it's Fanta.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
That is true. No, that is
It's
facts.
true.
That's facts.
Nazis made Fanta.
That's facts, and he means it
Nazis
the
made
white
a lot.
ways.
They
True.
unfortunately made a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah,
They
They
did.
made
They
Fanta?
did.
I think they made Fanta. Yeah.
I bet they made Mighty Beans too. I bet
Yeah.
they made Mighty Beans.
Yeah.
Dude, the
Mousetrap is a Nazi board game.
when
Yeah.
when they did Operation Paperclip, they made them hand over all the plans for Tech Deck dudes.
Yeah, dude. Damn it.
Sick.
Do you know moon boots are a Nazi invention? Do
True.
you remember those?
Dude, I bet it
Yeah.
would be.
The moon shoes.
yeah.
I don't.
Damn.
How many kids do you think broke their ankles
Dude,
on
we
moon
had
shoes?
a regional fad. I don't know. I remember moon shoes were like just. I think I was a little too young to really get into them, but I remember seeing them.
Oh, I had moon shoes. I
I had moon
the-
boots.
Maybe I was
I
too
had
old for
the ones where it's like a bucket with rubber bands and a little thing. Like
You didn't have moon boots?
it's like
I don't think anyone did moon boots.
They were
I saw
trampolines for your
ads.
feet.
yeah, trampolines for your feet.
No.
They did nothing. You couldn't jump higher. All it
Yeah.
was like try not to break both of your ankles.
My friend had knives.
Yeah.
Does that count?
Have I talked about this on the show? There were like regional fad, like in Maryland, the big fad from like into like the early 2000s, late like from 99 to 2001 was Crazy Bones. Have I talked about Crazy
Oh, I
Bones?
love Crazy
Okay,
Bones.
you know what Crazy Bones are.
I love Crazy Bones.
Sounds like a
Crazy
crackhead's
Bones
nickname.
slap.
Crazy Bones were these little
They
like
slap.
they claimed they were based on like an ancient Greek game. that
Oh,
was played
really?
With real bones, but they were these little characters, and they were like all fucked up and mutated, and you would like flick them at each other. You play games with them, and then they would do all these spin-off series. Like there was one they did like Dragon Ball Z Crazy Bones. McDonald's got like
The
Crazy
alien
Bones.
Crazy Bones
Alien
were
Crazy
big.
Bones were
The
sick.
neon, you would get. I had an alien neon.
Yes.
Crazy Bone.
Dude,
Yeah.
I had a special mountain where I could display all of them. It was Crazy Bone Mountain.
That's
It was
very
awesome.
cool.
But I had
That's
too
what
I
I call
actually
my-
took my girlfriend to Crazy Bone Mountain. I haven't had sex since 10 months, but
10
yeah,
months.
Crazy Bones. God, I fucked with Crazy Bones. I also remember like at school, at the elementary school, where they had that little store. Did you guys ever have the store?
Oh
during
yeah,
recess?
with the
I never went
erasers
to
and
it.
shit.
Erasers and also like the little alien guys who were this big. You
It's
remember
kind of
those?
capitalist
Yes.
propaganda. if you
Those
think
were
about
good.
it.
Yeah, why isn't that stuff free? They were probably
Yeah.
selling that at like an insane markup.
Honestly, that's the answer is to like what came after lead and between microplastic. Is Crazy Bones probably gave us all dick cancer. You just suck it. The only point of Crazy Bones was to suck them. You know, like
that's
there wasn't
true.
even a game with them.
Dude, you should sometimes you get one that's like the right shade of purple and it's got
Yeah.
like nice it's just the perfect like angles.
Yeah, it was for autistic boys.
It was totally
yeah.
because you see a good Crazy Bone, you're like, I want to eat that. So
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Nerf footballs were perfect food. Like
Yeah.
texturally, like
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
about
yeah.
it was good. Also, what were those
Foam?
like carbon monoxide balloons that you blew yourself out of a straw.
Oh,
that
yeah,
if you
dude.
sucked it in the wrong way, your eyes would fall out.
Oh yeah,
Great.
that started a bunch of kids on nitrous probably.
Yeah.
You remember
Where you
fart?
dip it, you put it on the end of a straw, and it's like that like gooey shit, and you blow up the bubbles.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember
It was like pure
fart goo?
lead. I don't remember. I had fart spray.
It was like it wasn't called that, but it was just like a little can of toxic slime goo.
yeah,
and you
yeah.
put
But you
your
would just
fingers
finger
in
it and it would fart.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude.
Yeah.
You would
Dude.
make it squirt.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
find out like girls do that.
I used to
Yeah.
ruin. I used to ruin all my.
Dude, people who make toys for kids got to feel like they're getting away with something every time.
Right.
Yeah.
They're
What
like-
do you mean?
Well, because they're just like
We all hold our
think about
mics up.
it. Think about it. It's like crazy bones or whatever. That was a bunch of grown men in a boardroom who decided on crazy bones.
Wrong. It's ancient Greece.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's an
sorry.
ancient Greek game.
Well, let's
Ben-
think of another one, like whatever the beans, or it's just like
Yeah.
some dumb shit. And if you make a bunch of them in different colors, kids are gonna make their parents buy it for them.
Knack-knacks.
Yeah.
I think knack-knacks were
Or that
one.
putty shit. Like one guy pitched at a boardroom table. All right, it's putty in a little jar, and he probably had to do an example. They're like, show us the sound,
What?
and he had to finger the putty
Yeah.
in a boardroom. They might have been wearing suits when they
Yeah.
decided
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's like
and they're like, we're gonna be rich.
when I think about the shit that blew my mind, like silly putty, putting the silly putty on a newspaper.
Oh yeah.
And seeing.
Oh, yeah,
it,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
The print would be on it. You couldn't even. Kids today would be like,
Yeah,
who cares? Whatever.
yeah,
Right.
that is mind blowing shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like at the beginning of 2001 when he picks up the bone.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
That's how it feels when
I
you're
used to
a kid.
shove silly putty in the front pockets of all my overalls. Every single pair.
I didn't know how that sentence was gonna end.
yeah, I didn't either.
I just had this.
I used to plug myself up with fucking silly
I
people.
would always, and I was always sure, like, I'm not gonna get caught this time. And then I
Yeah.
would, like, of course, you don't do your laundry when you're fucking 4, and I would always hear my mom fucking screaming when she.
That's
finally-
very like 1990s John Steinbeck, just like a disabled man with silly putty in his overalls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the Tech Deck, didn't they used to have like little thumb guys?
Yeah.
They did. You could put the Tech Deck dude. Those were Tech Deck dudes. And
Yeah.
Tech Deck is a
so
good one.
here's when I fell off. There's a divergence with Tech Deck. They gave them arms, which doesn't make sense because they're thumbs.
Right.
They used to just be thumbs with little feet, and then they gave them arms, and that's
Yeah.
when I was like, I'm fucking out on Tech Deck dudes.
Yeah.
They ruined your immersion.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make it just doesn't make sense.
but
conceptually.
thumbs having
I
feet
hate it.
is good.
Yeah.
Thumbs can have feet. Thumbs because
Okay.
because they just have shoes, so you don't see other like appendages.
This feels transphobic.
But when you
honestly.
see a thumb with a thumb, it's disgust. It's not right.
it's not. Yeah.
See that I feel like you would get fired from the toy company for having too much integrity. They're like, look,
Yeah.
Nick, he cares a little too much, dude.
I would be
Right.
throwing if I was in charge of that and somebody brought me a thumb with hands, I would have fucking thrown something at the wall.
Yeah.
I'm like, get the fuck get the
You
fuck
obviously
out of
don't
my
understand
office.
what we're doing here, do you?
Yeah.
I would have been like, I would have gone full Steve Jobs.
That would be
Well,
I was
like,
about
where
to
does
say
it end?
literally
Yeah.
you took the words out of my mouth. The Steve Jobs of a toy company would be
Right.
fucking hilarious.
I'd be
dude.
like, fucking dilute all his stock shares right now. That fucking piece of
Right.
Shit.
That's right.
Bionicles, dude. There's some of them that slap. Heelys, Tech Decks, Bionicles.
Heelys were good.
These are all
Sharper Image scooters.
sharper image, dude. In general,
Sharper Image was sick.
that's
Sharper
a
Image-
store that I think
I don't really know
everything
about
kind of
that.
started getting shitty in America
not
when
have
Sharper
TV?
Image.
I didn't do a lot of TV.
Sharper Image was like they were like the TV brand. Like you'd see Sharper Image.
I knew about
shit.
Brookstone.
They had stores.
I tried to get I tried to get
Sharper
pussy at
Image
the mall.
also, it had like
Sky Mall.
had skateboard remote control skateboards.
Yeah, they had
and,
everything.
like foot massagers.
My dad used to
and-
buy shoes from the Sharper Image, and that's why he was bummed when Sharper Image closed. He was like, "Where am I going to get my weird gel sandals?"
Sharper Image
That's
is
cool.
incredible.
Oh, the 5-finger toe shoes. My dad wears.
I don't
know
those.
like
his dad
those.
was-
He
I
wears
don't like
those with
those.
overalls and white t-shirts.
Yeah, dude.
I don't like those. I think it's unchristian.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't
like,
let Noah's dad
I
hear
don't
you
want to
say that,
know. I think that's how like Muslims feel about women not covering their hair. Is how I feel about seeing all of your toes.
Those show
Yeah.
they look like they prove evolution.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
like you can see what our ancestors look
It's
like.
honestly disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's wrong.
Do you have toe shame? You've shamed of your own bare feet?
Okay, well,
do you
I don't see it as related, but yeah,
Do you have-
I hate my feet.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have gnarled
Get him
little
out. Let's up
tootsies?
this view count.
No,
Let's see
I'm
your
not,
feet,
I'm not,
dude.
I'm not doing that. I'm not that kind of
Do
hairy.
you have some sort of German lion on your shoe there, or what is that?
Maybe it's I think the red tape is the shoes. They
It's a
were
Nazi
invented by the
invention.
Fanta
That feels
company.
racist. Yeah,
Um, Wait, we were actually speaking since we've gone back to Nazis twice. I wanted to bring. Okay, so I've been thinking about human bodies. I was watching.
Been thinking about twins.
Have you seen the show Mortician advertised?
No.
I just found it on Max. But basically, it's about a guy who was running a crematorium, and he decided to start like burning all the bodies at the same time. So you're supposed to do one so that when you get the ashes back, it's like just grandpa.
Yeah.
But he was like doing contests to see how many they could wedge in there.
Oh, damn.
And so it was 15, and then they accidentally burned it, and then they were doing like 200.
It was the Bonnie Blue crematorium.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then he started like taking their organs, and they would take their teeth out with a crowbar.
Yeah. Someone
And
always ruins it. You know.
I don't know. I'm just the whole thing with him is he's like, well, they're not people, they're bodies. And that's the question. Bodies, are they bros or burgers?
Here's the thing.
I'm
He will never not have kind of had a point.
He kind of like. I think if you're gonna burn the body anyway,
Right.
you can play with the teeth. I
Yeah.
don't think that's that controversial.
He's honestly upcycling.
Like, you know.
Make that a child's toy. Fucking crazy teeth.
Yeah, he's selling the brain, he's selling the lungs for
The
research.
problem is these guys all get so brazen because this should be an easy thing to get away with if you can just like keep it to yourself and
Yeah, he got
indulge in your
greedy.
little pleasures.
He got greedy.
Yeah,
But
200.
shoving 15 bodies in the crematorium.
200. 200.
200?
Because then they were like doing drugs and burned it down, and then he got a ceramics factory.
I kind of understand that though. It's like when you're mowing the lawn, you're like, I wonder how big of a branch I can go over with the lawnmower.
Yeah,
It just keeps getting bigger
yeah.
and bigger until you break it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it is just if no one finds out, it's fine. I think there's a lot of things.
Literally, if nobody finds out, it's fine.
That's the
how
thing.
every
Also, but-
kitchen operates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. No, it's that we were talking about the same thing. It's like we have a Muslim show at Zany's. I rub a pepperoni on the hummus plate on an accident. It's not. I didn't mean to. The pepperoni. I don't wash my hands.
I just
Are they going to hell? I don't think so. I think Allah would understand.
Do you know Allah? Are you familiar with Allah? And
Yeah.
Actually,
Wait, is this a real story?
well, no. I mean, like
a hate
genuinely,
crime.
genuinely, you're making food. You're making food for a Muslim person or
It
a
can be
Hindu
true
person.
for Jews too.
Like you get a little bit of fucking pep juice on there.
Yeah, you just chew up a pepperoni, spit it out in the hummus.
Yeah.
Well, I think God, according to them, would be pissed if you'd even use the same pizza cutter for the cheese and the pep. So they're not being kosher. They're not being halal.
Right.
You know?
They're being haram.
Yeah. And I'm saying halal. I'm laughing out loud.
You just go up to a Jew and poke him with a needle with ink. Be like, you can't be buried with your family now.
True.
Bitch.
True. Well, here that goes back to me doing it on purpose. This is just an accident.
Total accident.
I think you should, should be cool with that, Allah.
I don't think Allah cares if it was an accident, dude. Allah's like the least lenient of the monotheistic gods.
Yeah. I think Allah might be. But Allah's probably pissed they're going to a comedy club. Anyway.
Allah is like a
Yeah.
strict parent who is like very on top of everything you're doing. I think Jewish God, Old Testament God, is like an abusive alcoholic parent who's
Right.
just kind of gone half the time, so you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want. When he shows up, you're in trouble.
Right.
Christian parent is like the one that wants to be your friend and lets people drink at your house.
Sure. Yeah, kind of.
And-
It depends.
Yeah, but he's also got the end of the world, and that's sort of tough.
Well, I thought it was pretty good for just pulling that metaphor out of my ass.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
What about Chinese God? What's Chinese God do?
Chinese God?
Yeah.
Chinese God is there? I think there's no God.
There's
in China.
totally Chinese
He
God.
really
Isn't
made
that-
them in his image. You know what I mean? Because they're looking the same.
Isn't their whole thing God doesn't exist?
No.
Yeah, that was
There are like samsaras and mandalas and places that you go.
No,
when
but
you
they
die
had
and,
entire
There's Chinese Jews.
What were they called? Those embarrassment things, or the public humiliation.
You mean the
okay.
social credits?
You're talking about struggle sessions. Like you're right.
Yeah.
In modern China, it's like largely like atheistic, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
you're right. No, but there are Asian gods, and I can't name any of them, but I know that there are different there are different like afterlives you can go to. There's one that's like very simple. They've got one that's designed so like that if anybody says it, like you're able to go to this one, and it's like the lowest level, but it is like a form of like paradise.
So
I
it
don't know
sounds
enough
like
about
Buddhism.
this. I think it's Buddhism.
Yeah.
But there's
I
levels
like
too.
that
There's
better.
also there's different.
There's like
ones.
Nirvana is the top one, right?
No, but these are called like samsaras
And
or
then Foo
mandalas.
Fighters. I think Hinduism is kind of a badass religion, to be honest. I think it's wasted on the Indians. Let's
Good.
trade. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine Hinduism.
Hinduism is the only one where it's like you would fuck the gods. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
dude.
mean? It's like
Six
Hinduism-
arms. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Only one where it's like there's a hot lady, because like I'm always very jealous because like you feel like a lot of Christian women, it's like they clearly have like there's a sexual component to their relationship with Jesus, though, and it's like as men we can't have that.
Yeah.
But if I was Hindu, I might want to fuck the lady with 6 arms.
Do you think Christian girls
Or
fantasize
the
about
elephant.
fucking Jesus? I
Yeah,
never even
definitely,
thought about this.
Definitely, 100%.
I never, not in my 28 years.
100%. There's totally like a weird, especially like non-denominational Christian girls, like they've got like a weird like. They're
Mary
like,
Magdalene fantasy.
Yeah, I think like some of them actually have. It's like, oh no, I'm Jesus's first, and like all their images of Jesus are like a fucking cool hot rock star.
Imagine you're a girl and you fuck Jesus and he doesn't bust.
That's crazy.
That
Well,
would be
you know,
crazy.
when people
The
are
feeling.
dancing, they say,
I'd be afraid he'd be making me. He'd be like he makes you lick the holes in his hands and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
that would be cool. That would be cool. But like
He'd
they say,
take
like,
your virginity and send you to hell.
Yeah.
yeah, that would be
Like,
good.
you whore.
That is the ultimate test for Christian girls: is don't fuck you. When you get to
Yeah.
heaven, don't fuck Jesus.
Yeah.
True. He's beautiful.
He's covered in. He's oiled up when you get there.
Yeah.
Who are the Hindus that eat people? No, they
Are
eat,
there Hindus that
they
eat people?
eat dead people. Yes, yeah. There's they hang out by that river where they burn all their dead bodies. You know about the.
I think so. I don't
That's
know.
what
So
I'm-
there's a river in India where you bring your grandmother. And
Yeah.
You camp out. You burn her body on the river,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's just a group of Hindus who walk around and they just pick up body parts and just eat them after they've been cooked.
That's what I'm
You gonna finish
saying.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they do. And then they sit around. They drink their own piss. They cover themselves in ashes.
Oh, no.
They hold toddler heads. I swear to God.
No, I believe you. I
This isn't
completely
stuff
believe
I'm
you.
making up.
But the
Dude,
way
it would be
here's the problem.
crazy
No,
if I came up with all this on my own.
Here's-
Indians, for
the
their
problem
own
is
PR,
that,
they got to round these guys up.
Yeah.
with Noah's like weird accent, and when you say shit like that, even though you're saying things that are true,
I
it
believe you.
sounds like a Truth Social post. You know?
Yeah.
No, I just watch AI generated videos of Indian guys drinking toddler
Yeah.
piss out of a
AI
skull.
actually Indian. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I do. I think bodies are burgers. So why not eat them? You know,
Yeah.
they're not people.
Because if I walked in on like a crematorium worker like playing with my mom's teeth, I'd be upset.
Yeah.
If he was
Right,
playing
right.
like table football with
Yeah.
my dad's like rings after they burned him, I'd be upset.
He's dumping
Right.
ash out of a toe shoe,
Right. Right.
banging them together, and
Right.
a bunch of clouds.
Yeah.
It's crazy. These withstood the oven. It's good making.
Yeah.
They are good. They are
Oven
durable,
proof.
obviously.
That dude who shoved hundreds of, he was just born in the wrong decade.
Do you think
he would have
that,
been a great
like,
Nazi?
that people who work at mortuaries like fucking have? Do you think that there's like a camera on their phone that they only show their friends?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's like whenever
Their
a guy's
hidden,
like,
their hidden photo album.
Yeah, dude, doing like prayer squats next to really small cocks.
Yeah.
Dude, can you imagine the?
It's like, damn, I died.
Can you
too.
imagine the post-mortem shrinkage? That'd be terrible.
It's got to be crazy, man.
Yeah.
Although I wonder if rigor mortis does you any favors.
I wonder if it keeps getting bigger, like your nose and ears,
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
That's as you're alive and growing.
That would be cool.
Okay.
No,
That's
I
right.
think Noah's
it's your
right.
hair and fingernails. No.
And that's a Jewish thing, I think. Our noses and ears never stop growing.
Because
Nice.
if your dick
The
gets
horns.
bigger after you're dead, I'm
the horns.
gonna say like, keep me in the fridge for a month. Like,
Yeah.
let me hang out in here.
Give me.
Yeah.
It will be an open casket funeral.
Yeah.
dude, and I'm gonna be fucking naked.
Just the bottom
Please.
half of the casket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd want them to be like
Everybody goes up and pays their last
Yeah.
respects by kissing the tip of your penis.
they like deliver the ashes and they're like, okay, here's the first box. That's most of them, and then there's like a box that's just barely smaller and like,
Yeah.
oh, there's his cock. By the way, we had to we had to do it separate. We had to do
I
it
want
seppies.
a CFNM funeral, dude.
What's that?
Clothed female, nude male.
Oh, nice. I was
You've had a girlfriend for too long, my boy.
Yeah.
I was
that's true.
thinking Five Nights at Freddy's.
Zach caught it immediately.
I don't watch. I like my girlfriend has
what's
me
up.
so against. She's like watching porn is crazy. So I'm like, I don't do it. And now like
What?
if anybody,
She's anti-porn?
yes.
What?
Well, she's just. It's
She's got her witchcraft. You got jacking off.
one time we.
Stick up for yourself.
One
That's all I'm
time,
saying.
like we tried to like watch porn together. Have I talked about this? In the
No.
podcast?
Yeah.
She was like, it was like when we first. She was like, show me what you like show me
Yeah.
what you watch.
Right.
And I pulled up a video that I thought I
You're
was
like, do you know Crazy Bones?
You know what's crazy? You were probably trying to introduce her to the light stuff too.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I was
Yeah.
like, let me play this cool. And I pulled up a video, and the look on her face, it like changed the way she looked at me. I was like, no, this isn't that. I was like, I promise.
What
this
was the
is not
video?
that crazy.
What was the video?
It wasn't that. I think it was just like the angle. She was like sort of horrified
Right.
by.
I hate the back of the
Oh,
balls
it was the angle.
No, it wasn't. No, well,
We need to write an open letter to porn sites that nobody likes the back of the balls angle.
yeah, no.
I don't know who that's
Okay,
for.
well, yeah, but what was it? What was the issue?
It wasn't even like I literally thought it wasn't crazy at all. It was just like a girl who was like
Dead.
Shoving billiard balls out of her butthole.
It was a girl who was like fucking herself with a dildo.
Okay.
And but like her ass was like right up against the camera.
Yeah.
And I was like, this will be fun. And she like her face turned white. I was like, oh my god.
You didn't start with sex? Why didn't you start with sex? Just type in romantic sex.
because that,
You're like asshole bound. What are you doing?
You're like, this is how I see our sex life. This is my family.
no, because I didn't want to pull up a guy. I didn't want to pull up a guy who was hotter than me. I didn't want to pull up a guy with like a bigger dick than me.
Yeah,
so
I
was like,
see,
we'll just,
I see.
And she was also like, "What do you watch?" I was like, usually watch like this, like
Yeah.
you know, just some
Maybe you did the right
chill-
thing. Maybe if you showed a guy with a bigger dick, should have been like, guys have bigger dicks. Just dumped you right away.
She would have figured out how to find him.
There's black ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys made sex tapes?
Huh?
Have you guys made sex
Yeah, I
tapes?
have.
Yeah.
You have?
We all have.
I don't
Nice.
think I've never made a sex tape.
Mine suck.
Maybe I feel left out now.
It's just weird. It's like listening back to your own voice after you've recorded it. It's
Yeah,
just
like
this
listening
is
to a
not-
set. You're like,
this isn't at all what I thought.
it's like I thought it was crushing.
Getting no laughs.
I went down.
Yeah.
This crowd sucks.
I became obsessed with like having because my first apartment in LA, I had a full mirror. I sound like Patrick Bateman, but I had like a full mirror
Yeah.
across from the bed.
And a chainsaw.
No, nothing like that. And my girlfriend at the time, she was visiting me because we started dating in Maryland, and I moved to LA, and she like came out, and we started fucking.
What?
We started like fucking, and we would fuck across from that mirror, and I would get like so into watching us fuck in the mirror.
Yeah.
and
It
then,
is
like,
dope.
And then that continued. for,
And then you're like, does that guy have a bigger dick than me?
No, but that helps your confidence because when you see your
also just looks
mirror
awesome.
dick will make you feel better.
It also
True.
just like, oh, I can see her from two angles, and then like I broke up with her, and then like every girl that I had over, we would like fuck in front of the mirror, and then it got to the point where like when we got to the next apartment, I was like fighting over who got because only one of the rooms had a mirror, and I was like, I gotta have the mirror. Yeah, and they were like, why? And I was like,
this is a
Just your room
non-negotiable.
is like one of those haunted house hall of mirrors. You're like, who's really getting their dick sucked?
Yeah, you get one of those like funhouse mirrors that makes your dick look like it's 2 feet long, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
the
big, don't move.
that is true. I used to like argue with women about having a small penis. I would like
Do you have one?
Wait, what was your side of the argument?
that I have one.
Oh,
that I
okay.
have like a really small one.
Go fuck yourself. No, really, it's small. I really have, and they're like, no, it's huge. We don't know what to tell you.
I had dysmorphia, and
I used
because
to
you
have
only
that.
see it from one angle.
I used
so
to have the same shit. I thought I had a small dick until I was like 24.
right.
Yeah.
Because then you can see it from different angles, and you're like, that looks human.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I also
This is-
measured it.
You know what? This is I hate hearing. This is stolen valor. This is like hearing fucking somebody who's 1/32nd Native American talk.
You're
Oh, well, what
probably-
if someone thought they were a
Maybe
woman
you're
and
still-
then they ended up being a man?
let me tell you
maybe
something,
you're still like in the abyss of
Yeah.
dysmorphia.
This is
dude.
my. You guys are my
You
culture
probably
is
have a
not
big
your
fucking
costume.
type,
You probably have a
No, I
big
do
dick
not.
and you're gay.
I
Yeah,
do
dude.
not. I do. I have a small cock. all right?
Right.
See,
You're not gonna
you're
take
doing
this
what you're
from
mad
me.
at him about.
No,
now.
I have a small cock. It's not big.
Nobody with olive skin like that and that kind of
You've got a
mustache has
huge gay
small
penis.
dude.
It's really small.
Honestly, also sucking a man's penis made me feel better about mine. I was like,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
not working with much.
Yeah.
And that looks fine. Mm-hmm. It's honestly annoying how big it is. I
fucking hate
And
it.
I wish it was small.
I hate hearing two fucking poses.
Uh-oh, someone's mad about being gay again. That's why we couldn't do the last episode, guys. Someone didn't want to be
I had a
gay.
full. I had a. They were. This is how.
You had a full wet dream.
This is also why you should have known that I would have immediately taken the podcast down because there were 3 people in the room had a gay experience, and I was immediately like, "Should I have a gay experience?" I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I had like a midlife crisis. I was
Actually,
like,
Wait,
my,
Zach,
I
have
was
you had a
talking
gay
about.
experience? You want one?
Right, sorry, yours I guess wasn't gay.
Technically, what you just said was a
homo-
cancelable
you're right.
offense.
I'm so
Right.
sorry. Right.
Yeah.
Yours, it was just a person with a penis.
That was a
girl
woman's
dick.
cock.
It was
Girl dick.
That was a woman's.
That was a
cock,
woman's
yes.
cock that I touched.
And yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Nice
should-
recovery, Nick.
I should be so lucky.
Apology
You gay
accepted.
big dick idiot.
No, I mean to be fair, I was the one who said that it felt gay.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
okay.
It
Let's
did.
we'll.
It did feel gay. But I think that you know how retarded is back. I think that
Right.
accepting that a penis in your face is a gay experience will come back like retarded. came back.
It is actually crazy. I will say you should be able to if you've had a penis, even if it was on a woman.
Yeah.
I think you do get to claim that, like you get your stripes.
Yeah.
It would be crazy.
You hear
For
that,
sure.
Bookers?
yeah. June.
It would be crazy if you had a penis pressed against your face, choking you. The
All
way
right,
I've seen.
nothing was pressed against my
It
face.
would be crazy if you had a 9-inch
Yeah.
horse cock choking you, making
Yeah.
you gag on your own.
Wow,
spit.
why'd you make
Yeah.
it so big?
And
Are you
were-
hard?
That's
He
not.
was wearing a maid outfit while he did it.
And it's like, actually, Ben, you're not
Yeah.
gay. That was
Yeah.
a straight experience.
Honestly, I feel sexually light skinned sometimes because
Sexually light-skinned.
because I've had enough gay sex where straight people like Nick supposedly think that I'm gay,
Yeah.
but gay people would call me queer baiting.
It's
They
not.
don't
It has
It's
blame you.
also
nothing to do with the sex.
yeah. It has to do. It has to do with your effeminate lisp and the way that you sit in the chair.
Oh, you like how I sit, do you?
Yeah.
Terry, you're visually one of the gayest people I've ever met in my life.
What?
Yeah.
No, okay,
No.
all right. No, here's what it
I do
is.
sit a little gay,
he's
but it's
visually
because of my
gayer
big
than you.
penis.
He's European. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
European. It's like if you had a night out, it would be in a club with bass. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's.
Oh, we're talking
it's
about me. Why am I
ambiguous.
agreeing? I was like, yeah, he's a fucking
Yes.
homo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Visually maybe, but acoustically one of the
I know.
straightest.
Yeah.
I can't fuck a straight woman. I tried recently. I was
Really?
like, this is actually happening. It doesn't work.
You can't fuck a straight woman?
So
They
who do you,
never go
who do you,
for it.
so
So who do
wait,
you
so
fuck?
here, who do you fuck?
That's all they
Gay
yeah.
dogs. No, it's got to be a bisexual girl.
It's got to be.
Are you
yeah.
serious?
Well, like,
Is that part of the
yes,
fantasy
I am.
that you're-
That's crazy.
Yeah, because
What's the difference?
the difference is like they don't.
That's a great question, Ben.
They-
That's
they-
the question I'm always asking.
They don't have like a firm idea of.
Go on.
No one, you know what I'm talking about. They don't have a firm
they're,
idea
they're
of like
vulnerable
what.
and malleable.
They don't know. They don't have a firm idea of what a partner should be because they're not looking for masculinity. So they'll just fuck this like girl who's me.
Yeah.
I'm just a bearded girl. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You
have,
are.
you
I
get
have-
it right, Noah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
literally only dated tattooed bisexuals.
Exactly,
That-
and it
Here's-
rocks.
Let me address
And
the
they're
elephant in
better
the
at
room.
sex.
Yeah. That's
Let me address the elephant in the room. The difference between bisexual women and straight women is arbitrary.
Yeah, but it does come into play when there's that much of a pattern.
I-
You
It's
understand
not
what I mean?
arbitrary.
I think there are I think lesbians exist.
Okay, wait,
Yeah.
wait.
I date lesbians. I do that.
I believe
That's
in them.
rocked.
I believe in them.
Hold on.
Yeah.
This is from years of being on dating apps where I don't think I ever came across a girl who didn't claim bisexual in her bio.
For sure.
Wait, this
It is a
gonna-
clout
yeah.
thing for them.
Sometimes
Yeah.
there are or at least when a woman is going through a bisexual phase, she's not interested in traditionally masculine. She's like doing the thing where
Yeah.
she's like, I don't want a traditionally masculine
Right.
man.
Yeah.
But then something usually around 35 that all goes out the window.
Right.
They want somebody who can build a
Well,
fire.
Yeah.
Just like you don't get. I think big tits are hot. You don't get a flag. Like, shut up. yes. We like big tits and women murder less.
Well, and there's also no risk involved whatsoever in a woman coming out as bisexual. Mm-hmm. And like unless you like are in a Mormon like college in Utah or something, like you're not gonna lose friends because you.
Oh, you
came
mean
out as bi.
versus a man being bi?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
A
man
man-
being bi is gay.
You kiss a man once, you're gay forever.
Right.
That's
right.
how I feel.
As a woman, you could spend you could spend 5 years just gobbling pussy and then just
Right.
decide to
It's-
put that in the past.
I bet
And
they-
the reason is, I think it genuinely is because I think it just makes sense to our brains. Like when something goes inside you, it changes you.
yeah.
It changes you.
I'll be
forever.
honest,
Dude, I
in my
sat on my
bones, I
crazy
do feel
bones
like
and now I'm
that.
gay. Yeah.
Like if women are just putting two cups together, it doesn't do anything. It's meaningless.
Right.
But the minute you are altered by the act of penetration, it's like, sorry, you got to go.
Right.
I think that's why.
net loss. Fucking, it's good. You're just,
Yeah.
it's static.
Yeah, if you're not
think
gaining weight,
That's
yeah.
when I would feel gay. Because even after the thing I was talking about in the last thing, I said about like I don't feel gay after that. But if
You should.
something going into, but I think that's my like something going into my body. I feel like that's
crazy.
that's the line.
Right.
It's like it's body horror, dude.
Right.
It is, dude.
It's crazy.
Crimes of the future. That's the
Wait,
title of this
but what
episode.
if your girlfriend fingered your ass? Are you gay?
I don't
It's not
even
the-
want
so
that.
It's something about hands doesn't. It's like you said, sex. It just hands.
You got
isn't
big
sex.
issue with hands.
No,
Tech
no,
decks
no.
can't have hands.
No,
but if
think-
I get fucked in the ass with a hand,
Hey, you established
Okay.
at the beginning.
What if she fingers your ass, but you're on all fours and your ass is in the air?
yeah,
I'm definitely
You're
gay.
You're not gay, but I do think that you get reduced to a learner's permit. They take your driver's license away.
Yeah.
Wait, what if you're an Indian river Hindu and you eat
A river Hindu.
and you only eat penis? It's going inside you. Does that make you gay?
It's like your favorite part of like.
You're like, no, it's like how autistic
Yeah.
people only eat goldfish. Like,
it's like
you're
you
the
go-
autistic river Indian
Yeah.
cannibal, and you're only eating penis.
He's like, it's a
Yeah.
texture thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're like,
chewy.
no, save that for Raj. He'll be pissed.
Yeah,
He's got dead guy Arfid.
He doesn't like cartilage. yeah.
Watching somebody, that's how I feel when people leave pizza crust. I'm like, the balls are right. You're not going to eat those?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
good.
I really think you
Crusty.
should eat every part of the penis.
Yeah.
I'm very
Yeah.
native that way. Yeah.
Every part of the penis.
I think the straightest thing about me is that I pretend my butthole doesn't exist, low key.
My butthole bleeds, so I know it's
in
there.
what way? Like you don't
Like
to
sometimes,
talk
you
about-
know, like when you have like chores or homework and you don't want to
Yeah,
look.
chores like fucking your ass.
No, but like you don't want to look because you're like, if I look, I'm gonna see how bad it is.
Mm.
That's how I feel with my asshole.
Do you feel like it's because it's a little?
It's hairy.
Yeah,
And
well,
I
yeah,
think there's
for sure.
probably toilet paper caught in the hairs at any given moment.
Yeah.
Why? That shouldn't be happening.
But it does, and I just let it. I just don't think about
That's why I don't do butt stuff. It's because I'm way too. It's not the gay
Yeah.
thing. It's like I don't want anyone back there.
Well, you
it.
have
I'm
to.
too bashful.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You should be prepping.
Do you not have a?
Yeah.
How are you guys' assholes hairy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
European.
yours is literally hairy
Very
as asshole.
nice. Very
sorry.
nice.
So they are. How do you keep the toilet paper out of it?
I just rip it out.
You just
rip
make
it
sure that it's not back there.
With like
do
a
a
what?
good
With a
job.
mirror?
Yeah.
you
With more
you
toilet
reach
paper,
back,
your
you
hand,
can
your-
But
feel.
you can't see. You
But
don't know that you
can-
got all of it.
You've got 5 senses, Ben. Use them.
Yeah.
all you
smell
can-
your ass to make sure it's clean.
all I
Yeah.
have is
Your
touch.
ass.
Do a somersault and taste
It's
it.
really easy to not. What kind of are you using? Like, what kind of toilet paper are you using? Are you
regular
using like
kind?
really cheap? Well, no. I mean, these
Whatever
are
the,
Seals.
the one the bears use in the commercial.
Okay, then that shouldn't be getting stuck. That toilet paper holds together really well.
Actually,
Yeah.
Nazi Germany
Well, I don't
invented
stop
Sherman.
wiping until I see blood. So
That's
maybe
crazy.
That's
It's
probably-
Ben. You should not have toilet paper in your asshole at all times.
I actually only recently stopped bleeding when I wipe because I got sober.
yeah.
I was shitting like 12 times a day.
Damn, dude.
What?
No cap.
Yeah.
So yeah, eventually you just start bleeding.
Yeah.
What?
So I bled a lot.
I bleed for this, dude.
That's cocaine
Again, you think I'm a girl because I'm always bleeding out my hole.
Right.
You know?
That's true.
But I do think caring for or taking care of my asshole feels gay.
Wash it. What are you talking about?
You
There's-
got 12 snakes, but you can't wash your ass.
I wash it. And here's the thing. It's not like I don't get stuff out of there, but since
Right.
I can't see it, I never fully believe that I got
What
everything.
are you talking about? This doesn't make any sense.
You know what? Okay,
It does make sense.
And it's not even a man. This isn't even my story, but I found out. I went to.
You probably have toilet paper in your asshole, and you think you've just been getting it.
Would you like to look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now.
It's so funny. You're like, I just pretend my asshole doesn't exist. Everyone else is like, God, we can smell Ben's asshole all the time.
I know a girl.
clean
She
it.
found out she
I
had a
clean it.
vagina when she was 13.
Whoa.
Wow, dude.
She thought she learned from an episode of Girl Code that you have like different holes.
She thought she had a wound that just never healed.
She thought she had a vagina?
She just thought she had one big hole, like the asshole. Crazy thing is that she started getting her period at 12.
Whoa.
Where do you think the tampons were going?
No way.
Crazier even, I learned sex ed from her mom, who is gay. She had 2 moms who looked exactly the same, and she didn't know
Wow.
she had a pussy until she was
So
13.
where was the block in information getting to this? Like, why wasn't...
Well, I guess literally, like, to Ben's, like, she just couldn't. She never looked down there. She wasn't very interested.
I'd be fair, the
Did she
space
like
between-
chocolate syrup on her mashed potatoes.
Yeah. She was going to Golden Corral every day.
I do remember girls who were scared of their own vaginas in high school.
Right.
Where it's like they wouldn't even... Like, they would have sex, but they wouldn't masturbate because they were freaked out about what's going on down there.
Right.
They're scary.
Right. That is true.
They are mysteriously wet.
Right. I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't
yeah.
like having one.
That's a great moment to just. We all just got lost in thought. Literally, we all just thought about what it would be like to have a vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking disgusting, dude.
This one's going better, right?
This one's going way better.
Okay, just want to make. I
Nobody,
thought last
nobody
one was
dropped
good.
the ultimate slur. Nobody.
The ultimate
The
slur.
ultimate slur.
Just a tech deck doing a 720. We'll yell. Just the one black
there
tech
were
deck.
no black tech decks.
There were no
That is
black
crazy.
tech decks.
I think
Let's
there
talk
was
about
a
it.
Chinese one. I may have made that up, but I could
There was a ninja one.
I could have sworn there was no. I think I see. This has to be a Berenstain Bears situation.
Mandela.
because I'm remembering a tech deck with Chinese eyes and a rice hat, and there's no way that went to
No,
market,
that's
dude.
impossible.
I don't know, dude. The
If
early
that becomes a
2000s
clip-
were a crazy time.
It's true. It's true. We didn't care about diversity. It was we were.
Or maybe we cared more about diversity. I don't see many ninjas.
That's true.
Just token ninjas.
We're getting close to having to cut the episode again.
Yeah.
Oh no, there is there's a Chinese tech deck guy with
a rice hat.
with a rice hat on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my
Right.
Yeah.
I knew it, dude.
They're $30 on eBay. If you want one.
Damn.
When's your birthday, dude?
July 1st.
Wait, hold
July
on.
1st? It's
Okay.
coming
up.
Can I ask something? What do the eyes look like on it? Because this is my
They
theory.
may or may not. They might
This is
be
my
regular
theory.
eyes.
They
It's
they,
ambiguous.
they needed a way to
he does
make
have
it.
a Fu Manchu.
They needed a way to
That's
make
so
it
cool.
clear he was Chinese, and they didn't want to commit to line
slanted eyes, yeah.
He's
So
doing
they-
karate as well, though.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone pitched the rice hat.
What's so bad about being well-rounded? You know, like you're a farmer. You know karate. It's cool.
You don't have arms. You
It's
can
cool
do
to be
kickflips.
Chinese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
I just want that on record.
Yeah.
It's cool to be
I
Chinese.
I do think it's
That's
sort
like
of
that's
sick.
a poster you would see in like middle school in like the mid '90s.
Yeah.
like in the library.
Do you remember those? Did you that's so gay posters?
yeah.
Didn't you mean wacky? Did you just say that's so gay? I love those ones.
It's cool to be Chinese.
Just a kitten being like, hang in there, don't be gay.
His name is Feg Long.
Okay,
Fucking shit.
that's awesome.
He's the man, dude.
Yeah.
That rocks.
He comes with a sword.
He's doing everything.
Yep.
They were like, he can't just skateboard. He's
No, dude, he's a weapon of mass destruction.
yeah, he's a sorting rice farmer. That's
Yeah.
good. That is very good. I wonder if there was an Indian River tech decker.
River Hindu is crazy.
River
dude.
Hindu.
I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah,
It sounds like a race in a fantasy book.
yeah. Avatar.
Like there would be like the hill Hindus and
Avatar,
the
the
river
last
Hindus.
penis eater. Yeah.
The fire Hindus. Although that seems real.
Right.
I just saw a thing about a guy in India who was like cooking himself. Like he would be like getting in a kettle and then he would sell people the vegetables that were cooking in there with him.
What is up with India?
And then one day he died. You know how he died? Cooked himself to death.
Crazy. You know that guy in India just has had his hand up for 60 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
People-
think there's many guys like
Yeah.
that.
People in India are
He's
just
got a
like
question,
trying out
dude.
stuff.
They're doing stuff. I've seen a bunch of videos of guys who paint themselves all blue, and then they tie a drum to their penis, and they
And then
stand
they
in the middle
follow
of
women home.
No, they stand in the middle of the street with a drum hanging off their penis, and they just bang it.
Kinda dope.
While it's up there. Yeah, it's
Just
it's
so
crazy. They're
desperate.
doing
You just
stuff.
individual.
If I was at the
Is this a video of the off-Broadway version of Stomp?
Yeah. This is Indian Stomp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if I was at watching the guy in the kettle or whatever, I'd be like, let him cook.
Let him cook.
Yeah,
I like
yes.
that. I like
And then
that.
nobody
there are
speaks
these-
English. And
He
nobody laughs.
ate.
There are these videos that are, unfortunately, they feel so racist, but they're very funny, and it's white guys doing Indian street food. Like
Yeah, I've
hot
seen
dogs.
it. Yeah.
Dude, it feels so fucked up, but it's also like
No, I don't
dead
even
on.
feel like. I think they nailed it because fuck those. Because what they're making fun of those dudes for is doing all the extra little wiggle. Like they're just doing way too much.
yeah, but they
well,
also
they'll do
but they also
shit like rub their armpiits and then rub the plate
Yeah, there's-
before
there's
they
like
food.
they're
flies
like covered,
in
they're
it.
like drenched in sweat and like
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah.
they're just punching the bit up at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
They'll do shit like they'll stick the money down the front of their pants after they get it.
Yeah.
And shit like that. There's microaggressions in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what they're called.
It's hard to like stick up for like the men of India though when you read
Right.
certain articles about what they're up to.
oh no.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't
right,
want to be
right.
that guy.
No,
but-
no, don't. I'm begging you not to.
What are the men of other races up to? Let's figure out
Good
what.
stuff all around. There's no, I don't think it's really just India that's the problem.
Yeah.
Historically.
Historically, yeah.
No.
Damn.
Yeah, I'll be the reason we can't post this.
No. We're posting this. It doesn't. This one. Well, listen, we're so far into this one. It's going up. Even if you go nuclear in the last 10 minutes, it's going up.
You ever see a child that looks like an ex-girlfriend? I just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah.
Presumably, she has like progeria or something.
She looks like an ex-girlfriend that was older than you.
Yeah.
You get passive aggressive and catty with a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
A dying 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. You flat bitch. Just saying, dude. Just saying. I'm hungry, but I ain't even cooked yet.
We should start a street food. Jumping back, we should start a street food stall, just like right here, out front in the fucking courtyard of the apartment.
Yeah, we could do it.
We should do it, dude.
We should cook rats.
Cook rats.
Yeah.
Yeah, metaphorically.
Quincy's big enough that we could cut little pieces off of her and she wouldn't die.
We almost.
You know what I mean?
Well, if Quincy's nipples
We
kept
could do dog
growing.
meat.
It's true, but I also, I'm uncomfortable.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't mean that.
It's okay. We almost made the whole episode without talking about my dog like she's a piece of meat.
She's beautiful.
She is beautiful.
Everybody says she's beautiful.
I already did.
All right,
So I'm not going to do it
Noah?
again.
Good. She's a very beautiful dog.
You are very beautiful. You are very beautiful.
I don't know. I would hate to eat my dog personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know what you want to do with your dog.
Yeah. No.
No.
So you guys got any
Let me
shows
tell you
coming
something.
up?
It's a moral podcast. We only kill and eat animals. We do not
Yeah.
give them
Yeah.
pleasure sexually. Which is worse somehow.
Right.
And we only hint at broadly racist ideology.
All right,
Oh,
I'm
you
sorry.
declawed your cat. I guess it would be inhumane for me to, give it great head.
Sorry, I want your cat to feel good, dude.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Good times.
I do. Are we gonna be cool with this one? Is this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
fucking.
fine.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah, yeah.
Good. Glad.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
You guys got to keep saying stuff. I'm the guest.
I
Yeah,
know.
no.
I'm well aware. Listen, we weren't gonna let you steer the ship this time. Last time was scary. Last time was
it
like
was scary, dude.
last time was like being the passenger in the car with the drunk driver.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which it's how Zach must feel when I like drive him home every day.
Yeah.
Zach, I was driving Zach home the other day, and I was fully falling asleep at the wheel. And he started telling me he started his method to keep me awake was he started telling me about like Chilean cinema, which is not the best way to stop me from snoozing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Chilean samurai?
Cinema.
Oh.
Or was it Chilean or Argentinian? Argentinian cinema. He was
Okay. That's cool.
yeah.
He's like, you mind if I put on this 3-hour history podcast while you drive?
It's so weird because Zach's probably said the least out of anybody we've had on the podcast.
Well, he doesn't
And
have a microphone, to be fair.
I can tell from just hearing about his interests that you are so much smarter than any of us.
Oh, he's the smartest person in the room by far.
And it's weird.
pretty
Sometimes
smart.
I hear about your interests and I'm like embarrassed that I've just talked about like Indian cannibals and eating out cats for the last hour and a half.
Zach likes that stuff too.
Okay, all right, cool. We're all down together.
There are two, and next episode we're gonna have you back on mic because
Okay,
we'll be
good.
without a guest. There are truly like two podcasts that we don't record. The first podcast is me and Zach driving here,
Yeah.
and we don't record that, and we could never release it if we did
Okay.
because it's
I just want
salacious.
to point out that I'm smart. I got genius level IQ. I just use it for racism.
What sort of IQ? what IQ do you have?
I'm in the 99.9th percentile.
What's the number
is
on
it?
your IQ, dude?
I don't know. No, I took a WAIV, so it's a different one.
You took a wave.
Okay, well, give us a number and stop skirting around it because I feel like it's going to be lower than what you're saying.
It's
now.
good. It's like 143 or something.
No, bullshit.
But not IQ. But not. It's a
So
different number.
is that good?
I'm in the
ACT.
99.9th percentile.
What's
But you're
your,
not that
What's
smart.
your IQ?
I am. I'm very smart. I'm very smart.
Nick,
wise
what's
I
your
just don't
IQ?
have any. I just don't have any
Harry-
skills or talents.
Harry, the true wise man knows he knows nothing at all, right? So
Yeah,
that's
can I
the-
say something
Yeah,
now?
that's Socrates, and you made the quote too long.
Yeah, I know.
This guy is smart.
The true man sucks my dick.
You're a very good joke writer,
Yeah.
and
Thanks.
you can't be dumb and write really good jokes.
Thank
You
you.
are kind of dismissive like Frasier, so maybe you are smart.
Let's let Noah talk. 'cause he's
Okay,
too
well,
busy.
what are your guys' IQ?
I have no idea. I've never
You don't
tested
know?
my
You
IQ.
don't
know?
That's
Me
a
and Zach are
crazy
both
thing
from Minnesota.
to
That's
do.
where we're smart.
Ben, you don't know what.
Yeah.
I think I'm art smart. I don't think I'm like science. Or actually, science. I'm annoying. I have autism for just.
Are you like
science.
Rogan smart at science, or
I get mad when he says shit that's wrong. Like, no, I'm smarter than Rogan in terms of that. Shit.
Well, that's
this is a sick way to end.
low. That's a low bar. No,
Well,
I'm probably.
'cause I'm
I'm
not talking
probably.
about
I don't need to. I don't need to be putting a number on that shit, dude.
Hell
It's the same
yeah.
reason why I don't measure my dick. All right, because
See, that's okay. Can we go back? This is how we should end. You said you don't measure your dick. That's why you probably don't have a small dick. Because that's why when I had body dysmorphia.
no. If there's two things I know, my dick is small and I'm a genius. That's actually why I'm a
And you're
genius.
straight.
All I'm saying, how cool would it be to find out in your early 30s that you're actually a genius with a big
dick genius.
No, because the minute I
Stops
find
doing
out,
the podcast with us.
Here, it's psychosomatic. The minute I find out that I do have a big dick, my IQ is gonna plummet to like 80.
So that's what
Right.
it is. You're afraid to find out that it's not small because you think that that's what makes you funny.
Yes, because
we got to the bottom of it.
no, because having no, that's not true. That doesn't really make any sense at all.
It makes
I
a
just-
lot of sense.
You don't need to know these things about yourself. I get the impression about myself that I'm not stupid.
Right.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not little Lord Harry over here. I'm in the 99th percentile.
Right.
Little Oxford boy.
Point-
Also,
9.
is 99.9 percentile, is that good? I thought that being in everybody's in the. How does percentiles work?
No,
Well, you just outed yourself, buddy.
the higher the number, the less people are within that percentage. So
That doesn't make it should be
That means out of 1,000
99
people, I'm gayer than all of them.
Yeah, no, 99.9 percentile means that only 0.1% of people are smarter than.
I think we should cut this episode. Now, this
No,
episode
you're
should be cut.
no. This is great. What do you, why do you want? Oh, why? Because you know you're telling a fib.
Yeah.
Is that why you want to cut it?
Yeah, I'm lying. I'm lying.
Yeah.
I'm lying.
You're not smart, dude.
Zach though.
I used to be. I just decided to use it for,
I'm sorry. You are very smart. I shouldn't say that about you.
I
You
used
are
to read
very
a lot of
smart.
books.
Yeah. I read. I think I read books until I was about 14 years old.
Favorite book? Beyond Good and Evil. Ever even heard of that?
Is
Yeah.
that who's that?
It's Friedrich Nietzsche.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Frederick-
I thought I was
Frederick
gonna,
Ninja.
I thought I was gonna guess Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
Neil Gaiman.
my favorite book is by William Faulkner. It's Captain Underpants. And the Mystery of the Angry Plunger. It's it's a mid-century
good.
piece.
That's good.
I don't think I wonder what my favorite book actually is. I don't know.
I like Dr. Seuss's early anti-Semitic stuff.
Yeah. Have you seen the way he draws black people? It makes the way he draws Japanese people look cool.
Yeah.
I'll say that much.
Yeah.
I will say that much.
You ever read
Yeah.
the Big Nose Sneetches? No.
I know about the
not real.
Sneetches.
I don't even
my
know. What's-
favorite book is Looking for Alaska by John Green.
Yeah.
That's good.
The pages are stuck together.
I like
had
to
a
sit
joke
up on the
today.
roof and read it.
I read a John Green book because I read one about the kid who dies of cancer, and
Oh,
I was banging a chick who had cancer, so there was like tear stains in it, and that of
Wow.
course
Whoa.
I left
Cum
a couple
stains.
more stains.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go, Ben. Geniuses. Someone's got a big IQ too.
Hey man,
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna say cum.
functional intelligence,
Yeah.
street smart.
Yeah, John Green's cool. I fuck with John Green.
No, but
I don't actually like that.
ask me. I know I'm smart about Neanderthals and ancient hominins and reptiles, and most animals,
Yeah.
dog breeds.
You good about dog? I'm pretty good about birds. I know about birds.
Yeah, you know about birds?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
what's-
see a bird and I'll be like, that's a junk.
What aren't they all named like titmouse? What you know about titmouses?
Well, there's
I mean, in England, a lot of them are named tits. That's
Yeah.
true. There's
Yeah.
blue tits and great tits.
Are they called teats plural?
Tits?
no
Oh.
tits.
Is it titmice or titmouses?
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
That is a good
You are the
question.
smartest guy on this podcast.
Yeah.
What a mind-blowing
The
philosophical
true man
question you
knows
just
that he knows
posed.
nothing about tit mice. Yeah.
The true man knows. The true man. Yeah, no, you don't want to be smart anyway. It's a total burden.
Yeah.
You want to actually. I was smart. This is the thing. When I was 18.
That's the most psychopathic thing you've ever said, actually, now that I think about it. I'm
What?
just burdened with this fucking super
Well, no,
intelligence.
I'm not. Because when I realized I was smart when I was 18, and I immediately started gobbling down like a gram of MDMA at a time,
Right,
and
right,
just
right.
shaving off until I was.
I
able to,
did
like,
that, yeah.
Because I was miserable. I was like up in the, I was in the 99th percentile, like you are,
Right.
And you can
0.9.
see how it's affecting his life. So I brought myself back down. to
I
the
think that's
common
how I
man.
feel about myself, too. It's like a beautiful mind full of holes
Yeah.
from drugs.
Well, I think, no one in school should have been told they're smart. I think that was a mistake.
Because
then I didn't get good at anything.
they tested me. The one indication that I had, but the problem is it gave me the total wrong. I was like, well, I don't have to try then, because they like tested me when I was like in sophomore high school, sophomore year of high school, and they tested like what like grade I was like reading. Math skills were way down, but I was like reading and writing at like a college graduate level when I was like 15.
When I was like 28. Yeah.
Yeah, they tested me at the inpatient facility that I was checked into.
Dude, you're at an 11th grade reading level.
and so they were like, wow, he's so smart. He's reading and writing so well. And then I was like, I don't need to do school, dude. I graduated with a 1.9 GPA.
I got a 28 on the ACT, and I didn't retake it because my brother got a 27, and that's all I cared about.
Really? You wanted to be your brother? Hell yeah.
Fuck you, dude. Go cook food for a living.
Yeah, dude.
That's it.
I don't think I took any of those tests.
Dude,
the SAT.
I went into the SAT test. It's so crazy that I did this. I just knew I wasn't going to go to college. I signed up for the SAT. It was at our local church. You all went into like the big hall and took it. And I got to like the second page of the SAT and I just like put my head down and went to sleep. Yeah. I slept through it, and then there was a break before the next section or whatever, and I just like went home.
I just
You
remember.
took the SLEPT.
Nice. Damn. As a genius, it took me a while to get
Guys,
that.
should I start doing comedy again?
Yeah. I forgot about this, but like my friend would get like these mysterious drugs online, and he had one that was like it's basically speed.
The old Silk
and
Road?
we called it Robbie's Magic Powder. So I just railed a bunch of Robbie's Magic Powder, and then
Robbie
had a
drove a
panic
Zamboni.
attack
He
during
was
the
40.
science section of the ACT.
Damn, dude.
Oh my God, you did it before the fucking ACT?
Yeah, I think maybe even like right before.
What'd
yeah.
you get?
Oh.
36? Perfect score?
No, my super score was close.
For your ACT?
Yeah, it was good.
What was it?
I got. This is so gay. I wish I didn't do. I got 2 36s, a 34, and then like a
What
30.
the fuck, dude?
Yeah,
Harry's a genius, dude.
I am a genius, dude.
You
I
really
took
do
the
use it for
SLEPT.
racism. That's crazy.
I know. I'm a little. I want to retain it. I want to retain.
Yeah,
but
dude.
what pisses me off though is I like thought I was smart,
You are. If you got a 36, a 36, and a 34,
but I
you're
don't know
smart.
anything.
It's book smarts.
That's
Book
a
smarts
30.
are-
Guys,
It's not even book smarts though, because
Book
I was,
smarts
you
are
gotta take the
fake, dude.
I was
SAT.
talking with Noah about
That's a perfect
Kierkegaard,
score.
and
36
I was
is a perfect score.
I was talking with Noah
can't.
about Kierkegaard, and I was like, he does this, and I was like, I don't think he does. And then
Noah's
he just
secret
explained-
smart, dude.
He's
you,
not
you hear the
secret
way
smart.
he talks, and no,
It's
he
not
is
a
though.
secret.
Noah's definitely smart.
Yeah. Well,
Noah's
it's secret.
definitely
It's
smart.
secret to me because you don't assume automatically because
that a gay guy's
he hides
smart.
it well.
Yeah.
Like
No,
he's a
but
cock
Harry,
slut.
I don't know. It sucks because the story was deleted from the last episode, but just based on one story that I know about you, I don't know if you're smart. I don't know, man.
Wait, do you mean about?
Everyone's got blind spots. All right.
Do you mean the gay story?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a great.
It's actually neuroplasticity to be able to be gay.
Refresh me on what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get in the left brain and the right brain.
Right.
It's
right.
like they say Einstein had a bridge across him. That
Yeah.
was just a bunch of tiny penises
Yeah.
Yeah.
going from the art to
You
the
got
science.
to Eiffel Tower your mind.
Yeah.
The logical art of sucking dick.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was using all my neurons.
But geniuses always have like. Didn't Newton never fuck?
Well, I think he was just gay. He had like a roommate.
But I feel like
Classic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
think he was
and then
just
it
a
was
homo.
like that weird, crazy religious.
And he just
Europe.
shove apples up his ass.
Yeah.
I invented a new law.
yeah.
I figured out a way to thwart gravity with my sphincter.
Every scientist is a closeted gay guy.
Yeah.
that's
are.
what they are. They put on a little gay white coat.
They used to call
Because
him. They used to
because
call him Neil the Ass Tyson.
This is there's
Nice.
Stephen Hawking was in a wheelchair because his back got blown out. too hard.
yeah.
They used to call him Stephen Hawk Tua. Who else? Albert Einstein. More
Carl
like-
Sagan.
fucking Oppenheimer.
More like
Yeah, I know.
Carl
That's-
Gay Sen.
Oh.
Well, Carl Sagan made the mistake of publicly being gay.
Oh, was he actually?
Carl Sagan was openly he was gay.
Oh, I didn't know. I had no
Yeah,
idea.
dude.
But that's why he didn't do anything.
Calkins.
He had a pale blue. He had pale blue dot anal beads.
Nice.
he did.
Nice.
I hate myself a little bit.
No, none of these are good. We're all throwing our hat in the ring.
Thanks.
But it would be funny if every scientist, that's why they do all that science stuff, because it's anything to just fucking occupy them from.
They're trying to solve their
facing
own
the truth.
brain. Dude.
Fauci put cum in all of us.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just
Yeah.
his cum.
Scientific.
Well, no, Fauci's gambit was I'll make the whole world gay and then I'll be normal.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He was
But
the
it
syndrome.
didn't work out.
Yeah.
If everyone's gay, No one is.
Yeah, you're not locked. I'm not locked in here with you.
Yeah.
You're gay.
Yeah.
That was actually the way Fauci mishandled the AIDS crisis too, because it was out of like self-hatred. He was
Yeah.
like, "Let them all die."
Yeah,
He was doing a lot of handling of the AIDS crisis.
There's no.
Speaking of, I tried to
He
get
said,
on
"I'll handle
Medicaid
your
today.
AIDS crisis." Huh? What'd you say?
I tried to get on Medicaid today.
Damn.
And then I had a phone interview. You got an interview for it, and she was like, "You're real qualified.
You're real.
If I made 4
qualified.
times as much, I could still get Medicaid."
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Poverty,
So you have
bro.
like no money.
Damn, I gotta try
not
and get
making
back
money
on
right
that
now.
again because
Yeah.
I was on it for a little while and they canceled it, and I think it had something to do with my shit in Oregon.
Yeah.
and like paperwork getting crossed up. I've
Yeah.
tried over and over. I gotta get a case.
I think I'm
worker.
getting food stamps for the first time.
solid.
I should have
You
been.
know?
You know, this is how cucked I am. I was eligible for food stamps and Medicaid so many years when I lived in LA, and I was like, I won't do it. I was like, I'm not gonna fucking take it.
Because you're proud?
I literally didn't want to take a handout.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, really?
It was pathetic. I was like sleeping on an air mattress, making like fucking $600 a
Damn.
month, and I was like, I don't need the fucking. I'm not
That's
gonna.
kind of
show this.
I have the same problem in my brain. That's like I also I should have gotten a McDonald's membership thing years ago.
Yeah.
The amount of money I've fucking wasted.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
And
You
now
can
I
be a
don't want to
member?
get one because I don't want to see like how much I fucking.
I've
missed
got
out
the
on.
app. I don't want to use it because every time they ask me if I'm going to use it in the drive-through, I get fucking mad. Yeah, I want.
Oh
them to
no,
stop.
listen, it's like a Roth IRA, dude. You have
I
to
know.
use the app.
I have it.
The investment is incredible.
Dude, I'm afraid I'm gonna find out. They're like, oh yeah, you would have had $50,000 if you had just gotten
Yeah,
this
yeah.
McDonald's app.
Damn.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Well, how big is your dick, Zach? He's got a hammer, dude.
This guy's fucking smart.
Zach,
Zach's
Zach's a genius.
Zach's a quiet Italian, dude.
I can actually see your dick in your pants right now. It's enormous.
No, it's not.
Yeah, dude, it's huge. Compare that to it's.
But it is what Harry said. You look down on it when you're a teenager.
There's-
Right.
Like,
that's crazy. You just have bad
Stop.
eyesight.
Now you're making
I
me-
can, Ben. It's impossible not to see the huge outline of your cock.
It is impossible. I'm covering
Yeah,
it,
you have a
dude.
That
huge
is
dick.
true. That is true.
I
You-
don't.
You look like it.
No, dude.
I
You
will
look
not
like
be.
it.
I will not be.
I
fucking-
licked my penis one time. That's the best I
You
got.
licked it?
I licked it.
You can't do that with a small dick.
Yes,
I
I
was
could never
young.
lick my shit.
You're
I can't.
taller,
I
though.
also, I also can't touch my toes.
Torso.
I can't.
I could get the end in my mouth for
All
a
right,
little
here's
while.
what's
Nice.
crazy. I know I have never sucked my own cock, but I have like an ancestral Like I swear
Yeah.
to God,
I know what you mean.
I know what it feels like.
You
and
mean
I-
an ancestral memory?
No,
I think you probably were an adult made you suck their penis when you were a child.
No, I have a memory of busting
I do
in my
actually.
mouth.
I do also think that, but
I think you've got the. Is it like? Are you like a farmer in the middle of like the Middle Ages?
yeah. No, it's like I've had this dream too.
I-
I understand.
if
dude.
I imagine sucking my own cock, I know exactly what. I feel like I've like
Yeah.
done it in a dream or something.
Yeah.
but
Okay.
I never have. It's not physically possible. But it's like I have the memory of truly doing it.
Well, when
It's
I
hypnotherapy, my friend.
when I sucked that gay guy's dick, maybe redundant, but
don't you
I
tell
Well,
the
no,
story.
because it's not me sucking. It's the dual sensation of sucking and being.
Oh,
sucked
and
on.
being- oh,
it's like
okay.
it's so vivid when I imagine.
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
but I when I sucked a dick, I was like, I've
Maybe
done
I
this.
69 to guy.
Yeah.
A midget
in
That's the only
Rome.
way that would work with is your.
But it felt familiar.
Wait,
it felt familiar.
You said that was the guy in the truck.
There's
with
only
him?
one, and it was a Saturn Ion. Wasn't a truck.
You still remember the car? That's how you know
It was my
traumatic.
car. I remember my car.
Yeah.
I was giving him a ride.
What
That's
did
what's
you
crazy.
say though? It was like he wanted to just kiss, and then you were like,
No, you're misremembering everything. There's a truck and a guy wants to kiss, and I'm
No.
begging to suck his dick. No, it just started with kissing. It was a normal
yeah.
normal interaction.
If you think so.
What, you think that's not normal to suck a man's penis?
That's what I was saying. Yeah, you can't turn it on me when I boldly already took that position.
Damn.
I thought you were smart.
Ain't no one busted, so ain't no one gay.
That's true. That's hood rules.
Yeah, dude.
That's
facts.
DL. That's on the DL. For
That's
sure.
facts.
That rule of wisdom.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Thanks, dude.
Ben, you
We
have
should
to
all-
stop doing. You're making like a tuning fork noise every time you
Oh, I am.
adjust. Yeah.
Every
that's
time I
okay.
adjust the mic or
Every time you adjust the mic, it's like a resonance.
I got it.
Yeah, you're good.
Do you guys edit this?
We try our best not to.
Nice.
No, we just panic.
every once in a while somebody says like somebody's real last name and something illegal they did. And
Yeah,
then we
yeah,
gotta be
yeah.
like, all right, maybe we
also-
got
And then we post it and then delete it.
I almost did
We'll
that.
bring this in for. Do we feel good about everything we said?
Yeah, this is
Okay,
perfect.
Cool, cool.
This
Just
is
making
great.
sure.
I stand behind everything I said.
Yeah.
Literally.
Zach, do you have anything you want to say on the record? No. Okay.
No,
Okay.
he's smart to do that. No,
What
we'll
a
do,
diplomat,
We'll do
dude.
like 5 more, and then
Let's imagine some of our
Wrap it up.
favorite tech decks.
Our favorite, what that they could be.
I can't believe there's not a black tech deck, dude. That's actually kind of crazy.
Diddy Tech? I know.
They should have made an Antoine Dixon tech deck because he skated like he had no arms. It was right there.
I don't know
Interesting.
Antoine Dixon.
He was a dude. He's covered in tats now. He's honestly one of my favorite skateboarders ever because he used to just fight people like in the parking lot at skate contests and was
That's
like
cool.
go to jail and shit. But he was so it was one of those
Goated.
like he was like the Goodwill Hunting of skateboarding kind of shit because he was
Nice.
he fucked his whole life up, but he could do like a tray flip down 15 stairs without lifting his arms up, so it looked like he was just floating down the fucking stairs. It's-
That's cool. I could never skateboard.
yeah, dude.
I bought one from a homeless man in Portland, and then a different homeless man was like, "You should not be seen with that."
Yeah.
Because a third homeless man, if he sees that, he's going to kill you. That was my first day in Portland.
I was a kid. There was a kid in high school who kept insisting that he was like going to skate competitions. He was like, "Yeah, I'm getting sponsors, dude. I'm gonna go pro with this." And then at the end of high school, he went to the military, and I was like, "Yep, that's what I thought."
yeah.
Well, they actually have a MK Ultra program for skateboarders
Yeah.
It would
in
be
the military.
that actually would be that might be because I don't know if you've seen like the Taliban are doing like rollerblades now, like
That's so sick.
and it's like it would be cool if we had like a skateboard fucking
I
garrison.
feel like they don't have enough paved roads for that to make
They do.
sense.
What do you think's going on over there, man?
They need some
Like,
moon boots, is what they need.
Taliban, they're all on like Excel now.
Yeah.
They're doing like
They're Zoomers.
yeah, they're all doing like
Good for them.
They're all bored. They're all like so.
They're working remote ever since COVID.
Well, dude. I mean, literally, because do you remember they overthrew the government? ISIS did. They overthrew the government. Went on all this jihad, got it done, and now there are all these guys who are just riding the line of life. You know, they're just suicide vest bombing. Now they got to sit in an office and do 9
Right.
to 5s, and they're like, "This is so much worse. I want to go back." to jihad.
they're like-
there's
look,
writing emails
have you
like
ever-
girls can't rollerblade.
Yeah, they're like, this isn't why I got into this.
CC everybody.
Yeah. Have you ever watched the show Fargo? There's a movie, but there's also a
yeah,
show.
yeah, yeah.
Just end of the second
Minnesota content, classic
Yeah.
Minnesota content.
At the end of the second season, there's this character Mike Milligan. He's like a ruthless. He works for like the North Dakota mafia.
Yeah.
and he's like a ruthless killer. He does so, and his reward is he ascends to the point where he gets like a desk job.
Yes.
and he says
Yeah,
like
yeah.
an existential crisis. Like the last shot is him being like, "What the fuck? I want to kill people."
Yeah.
it's just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, this isn't why I got into being a baddie, all right?
yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
do it to fuck. You didn't join ISIS to fucking play golf.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
okay, you got to make the first black tech deck. Like
Yeah.
that's the top.
I guess that really is the bummer because like all of these revolutionary groups, it's like truly you don't want the revolution to come. You just
I
wanna
like
keep
the
fucking shit
idea
up with
of
your
like
boys.
a mosque in like Afghanistan, and they're like, everybody who served in ISIS stand up, and one guy stands up, and his girlfriend's like, you just designed the fucking website, dude. You know?
Nice.
You don't get.
There was
stand.
a great comic. He might still do comedy. There was this comic Eric Dodorian in Baltimore. He had a great joke about. He goes, I just got fired. I was ISIS's videographer. he goes. They told me I was cutting off the heads. I was like, oh, I'm the one. Great
Nice.
joke. Eric Dodorian's hilarious. Such a
That's
great
good.
comic.
That's good.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to join ISIS for a little bit when I was in high school, just because
Yeah.
I was like mad at my dad.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
Oh.
just like,
That's their
Yeah.
main thing, dude.
Like-
The ultimate.
yeah, it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Like if you're mad at your parents, if you joined ISIS, you win. That's what.
Well, like
it
British
is.
kids were doing that. Like white British
Yeah.
kids were like joining
Yeah.
ISIS.
There were
and getting
American kids
kidnapped.
joining ISIS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same reason the Sex Pistols wore the swastika T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did it first.
Do a
Exactly.
summer with ISIS would actually probably be
An
good.
internship.
I interned with ISIS.
A jihad
yeah.
internship.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Do they have like
if,
a rum
if you got to
springer?
go back, they're not going to make you die.
Yeah.
You know, if you got to go back home, you
Right,
know.
because you have to spread the. If you're like a tool of propaganda,
Okay.
you'll like it's well, no, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm saying theoretically, they get a nice little American white kid to join ISIS. You're gonna have the best. It's like there was this YouTuber who got essentially. Do you guys know Lord Miles? He's a YouTuber. What he does
Is he a
he
laugh cow? A lol cow? or
He
whatever?
he travels places on foot. The channel used to be kind of wholesome, but he's revealed himself to be like a British white nationalist.
Okay.
Really creepy stuff. But
England for the English.
he went into Afghanistan and got kidnapped by the Taliban.
Oh yeah.
And for the longest time, everybody was like, well, he's dead, because they took over
Yeah.
his account. And like people were tweeting from Lord Miles, the Taliban was like, you need to send more money to his Patreon.
Yeah.
We can't get Lord Miles the things he needs unless you guys start subscribing to the Patreon.
Right.
And everyone was like, this is so crazy. They fucking murdered him. Then they released him like 8 months later, and he went back. He was like, the Taliban are my boys.
Yeah.
He was like,
Nice.
they fixed my teeth.
He's like,
Really?
I got a little bit of color.
Yeah, he was like,
So he's not a white nationalist anymore?
Well, no, I think white nationalists and fundamentalist Muslims line up on a lot of things.
Right.
It's crazy how
right,
we're in
right.
the era of like the snake eating itself in terms of ideology.
The snake sucking its own dick.
Well, because we saw that in Portland, where you see the lefties become racist again,
Right. Yeah.
Right.
where they're like, like a white lady stands up at a comedy show and is like, you can't make fun of the Mexicans. Meanwhile, Mexicans are laughing in the front row. And it's
Right.
like, bitch, who made you? Who asked you to protect all the minorities?
Right.
You know? And then
Actually,
the same thing.
God did directly
God,
last night.
God
Yeah,
did.
I get-
White women.
God
That's your
literally
job.
a fucking golden
They get to
finger
fuck
came down
Jesus.
and-
He's like, oh, I guess I got to give them a job.
I'm constantly under the anointing of God, and I constantly have to protect minorities at comedy shows.
Yeah,
it
Right.
sucks.
It does
It's a lot of
suck.
pressure, dude.
But
There's a lot of them.
when you've been doused with the holy oil, you just have to stand up and do it.
When you've
True.
been anointed.
True.
But apparently, the Taliban is like a really good hang.
Yeah.
If you're a crazy YouTuber who travels, into,
Sounds
like,
good. I'd
uncharted
love to have a
territory.
big gun.
If you're not a Jew.
I give the Taliban the BOTD on a lot of stuff. I don't know
You
why.
think? I don't know. The
just
benefit
kinda
of the doubt. I love that acronym. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I don't know. I just sort
that
of,
was a high IQ acronym.
I know.
was good.
I told you I have a large IQ.
Yeah.
Taliban feel like they might be.
If Taliban start being cool with Jews, are they even the Taliban?
I mean, it
anymore?
means the students. They're also high IQ. That's what Taliban means.
Yeah,
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Taliban means high IQ.
The students.
The students.
they're good guys.
Yeah.
They literally are. I actually have been trying to. I'm like, what do they like? Because really, like, what we our beef was with Al Qaeda, right?
Yeah.
What did the Taliban ever do to us? Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, and not to us, but I don't
own
think
people,
they've
I
done
think, was
super
the-
good stuff over there.
Yeah.
How come I can't fuck dogs, but you can like the Taliban?
All I see is them having fun on pickup trucks. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's me. I recognize that's me and my boys.
I see them. They have
Trying to learn how to do push-ups and jumping jacks.
Yeah,
They have
and-
pet
It's not that
cheetahs and
different
shit.
than the American South. It's the same thing.
That's
what I
mean.
AK-47 and
a lot
Right.
of big cats as pets.
Yep.
Big
Yeah,
Tiger
Right.
King shit.
That's true.
That's a
Fucking
crossover,
tearing
dude.
it up in a '98 Toyota.
That is true.
You know what? The Taliban, they will be fully when they finally get some F-150 shipped over there. They'll be fully embraced by
Yeah.
Americans.
Right. A lot
The
of
American
a lot of
ta-
interbreeding.
Yeah.
You know?
True. That's
Yeah.
right, and that's okay.
They'll call it the American Taliban. Will be like the travel ban.
Have you guys ever watched like the Muslim children's shows where they have like they've got like a Mickey Mouse character?
And they cut his head off.
Yes, yeah, literally.
Oh, really?
That's literally what.
Oh, damn.
I swear to God, yeah. No, they've got like a fake Mickey Mouse character who's like, because he represents like the decadence of the West or whatever. So
Oh,
he's like,
shit.
And he speaks in like a fake Mickey Mouse voice, but it's all like Arabic. This is like old shit. I was watching this stuff in like 2006.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Have they heard of Real World? I feel like Mickey Mouse was like the worst example to pick.
Well,
for
I mean, they
the
are.
decadence of the
Everything
West.
is like they get everything later.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
like,
okay.
So I feel
They're
like,
on Mickey Mouse still, right?
and well, and a lot of stuff I'm sure like isn't allowed to come into the country, but like Mickey Mouse is like an American icon.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I
Was
forget
there-
what his name is. He's got a funny name. I gotta hang on.
Yeah.
And then sorry, I know this episode's going on way too long. Just let me Google real quick.
Is it
Muslim.
Yankee Mouse.
Muslim Mickey Mouse. Eminem.
What do you think about Al Qaeda, Zach? That's how I'm gonna handle dead air now. From now on, I'm just gonna throw it to Zach.
I actually don't.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Oh wait. Tomorrow's Pioneers. Oh, this is Palestinian actually. It's Hamas affiliated. It was on from 2000. Yes, here he is. Farfour the Mouse.
Far forward.
This is. I didn't realize this.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this was literally Hamas.
Wow.
Oh,
This
really?
is before I knew who Hamas was, so I think I just assumed it was like.
And I
see-
think it's great. I think,
Yeah. I think Far 4 should be a tech deck.
yeah,
That's what I think.
perfect.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
we should watch some of these. Honestly,
think Far
It's
Four should
kinda-
have his
it's
own
produced-
channel.
It's
Yeah.
produced on the Gaza Strip. That's amazing.
Wow,
It's
dude.
crazy.
The Gaza comic strip.
Yeah. Oh, he was written out of the show. Oh, so apparently
Controversial.
Farfour, due to like they got hit with a lawsuit from Disney, and that's why they wrote Farfour out of the show.
That's why they beheaded him.
And I think, if I remember correctly, like they execute him. I mean, I
Right.
might be making that up, but I was right about the Chinese tech deck, so I think I'm right about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we should watch Farfour the Mouse next time we have a boys' day.
Let's do it.
I'd be down.
All right, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the episode.
All
right.
Nice,
Harry,
dude.
thanks for coming on.
We
Dude,
survived.
my pleasure. My pleasure. Took from it.
Nick's a big cock genius.
And if I go home and I find out that it's big, I'm chopping 2 inches off.
How indignant you are about it makes me feel like it actually might be small. There's no big penis energy coming out of this anger.
It's clearly a sore subject. I can't, because you know how many times I've been through this rigmarole. People are like, "Come on, man, you're probably," and I get my hopes up, and then nope, it's small. It's small.
And they go home, and the microscope is.
No, it's got to be bone pressed. You ever heard bone pressed? That term?
What does that
Then
mean?
you never measured your dick, right?
What's bone?
Joke.
Yeah. I
Joke
did,
it up.
I did joking for a little bit. It doesn't get you that much more.
No, bone press means when you're measuring it, you take the ruler and it's supposed to hurt. It should leave a mark for the rest of the day,
Right.
Where you shoved the ruler.
There's
a bunch of.
I
fat and
I didn't know what the name was, but I know what that is.
Here's what I did. You ask the nicest woman you know who's seen it how big it is, and then you just take the biggest number, and then you never
you
check.
never measure it again.
We'll
once
put a
you
cap.
see
Did
the
you
number
stop
right.
recording? Okay, cool. We'll put a cabinet with this. Here's how I know it's small. Every time I've had a bad breakup, they all go to the exact. And I don't think everybody gets this insult.
Mm-hmm.
They all go to the exact same insult, and it's like
That
You're
sounds like
Asian.
people wanting to just hurt your.
But you have
feelings,
you have a lot of manipulative psychos in your past.
Yeah.
don't
yeah,
you?
but yeah, I guess
That's monstrous to body
Yeah.
I guess
shame
that's
you.
actually true.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
you might have a long-lasting psychological scar from people being mean to you.
Right.
Is what it is.
And that's a real thing because that was
Yeah.
partially. I had some of that shit.
How dare you? What is wrong with you?
Here, see, you know what's worse than having a small penis is having your
Small
feelings
heart.
hurt. You know, having a little boo boo on your heart. It's
I get big girth energy
That's
from
true.
you at very least.
yeah.
I don't think so.
I bet you got a Coke can.
Yeah. I'd rather have a big hug from my mom than a big penis.
Yeah.
Said
And
no
imagine
one.
if you had both.
Yeah.
I do.
I don't know. I just tie a 15-pound weight to mine and stand in front of a mirror and cry.
Yeah.
I just wait.
Yeah.
I just wait. I just try to pull it to the floor so it works better.
Yeah. I just tape
Yeah.
it. We get taped up.
I can't get any hard anymore, but you know when I pee, it whistles.
You know what you gotta, you gotta get it hard and then take a picture where you're pulling it down, but you crop your hand out so it looks like it's just hanging there.
Yeah.
And then whenever you're feeling down, just look at that picture.
Yeah.
That's what you do. It's mostly psychological having a penis.
Right. Yeah.
It's a mind game.
That's what I hear.
Back pain and having a penis is mostly psychological.
What I do is I make tiny scale models of cities and then I dress my dick up like Godzilla.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me feel good.
Yeah, dude. You
Yeah.
Kubrick your dick. That's
Yeah.
I remember I had a conversation with, like, when I realized it was really small. I was having a conversation with my
no
with my
way,
doctor.
with my with my doctor. Came
my
in, he was-
pediatrician.
He was ghost white. But no, I used to work with this awesome when I worked at Jimmy John's. I had a coworker named Mama Lisa. We called her. She said something amazing. She gave me the piece of advice I'll never forget. It didn't apply to me. It applied to others. She goes, it doesn't apply to me again, but she goes, if you don't have sex with an old man, like, don't let an old man get you pregnant, because if you get pregnant and have a baby, the baby will look old. Which is definitely true. I think that's the truest thing I've heard. Yeah. And then we were talking. She was like, her boyfriend was like, apparently she was like, yeah, my boyfriend's dick isn't even that big, but it gets the job done. And I was like, how big is your boyfriend's dick? And she was like, it's like the size of like a Comcast remote. And I was like, yeah, definitely. That sounds like it's not big at all, dude. This is the big one. This is when this was like 2013. So this is when like the Comcast remotes were like.
Yeah.
But she's
we
only-
should execute that woman.
I mean,
we should get her. We should turn her over to the state.
Yeah.
to be fair, if she was thick, she's only getting half the channels. So,
Right.
You know.
I don't think women even know how big most objects are.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
true. They have no. You're right. That's definitely true. But she knows how
That's
big a
boy stuff.
Comcast remote is.
Yeah.
So like,
Right.
Also,
Right.
Yeah, could you imagine you got a Comcast remote dick and your girlfriend is like, it's big enough? Like, if
Right.
it's big enough, why you gotta fucking put me down? You know?
true.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we got to the bottom of that one. I
Right.
think that's probably the best we could end it on.
We could do a cool like a hook, like make the title of the episode like, how big is Nick's dick? And then everyone's gonna want to watch because they're gonna think you pull it out at the end.
Nope. Nope. Good suggestion, but nope.
See, you are the boss. You are the boss.
Just when it comes to that.
See how we all just accepted it?
Thanks for listening, Harry. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, it was a pleasure.
I hope you enjoyed this one. We'll have you back. You were a great guest.
Yes.
And
I like talking about dog fucking more than IQ stuff. But
You were out of your element.
Harry's Instagram is in the description. Follow him. He's the man. If you're in Chicago, see shows that he's at. And we'll be back.
Screenshot his
I don't
tweets
give
for
a
when he gets
shit.
famous. You can bring him down.
Peace, guys.